Who would have thought that Nick Mercs, TimTheTatman, and Battlefield 2042 would be the things that bring Call of Duty down? That's what we're going to talk about again today, man. The crash of Call of Duty. And this has been a long time coming. And if you're not familiar with me, I streamed Call of Duty for almost daily for 2 years straight. And I've been a player since 2007. Some of you would call me an old head or a boomer. But regardless, I've spent countless hours on Call of Duty. And as of, well, I don't know, 3 or 4 days now, I deleted the game. And the situation for Call of Duty does not seem to be getting any better now. Now, as of the date of this video, Call of Duty hasn't reinstated the operators for TimTheTatman or Nick Mercs. I don't know that they would want them reinstated at this point. I really doubt it. But I also haven't seen Call of Duty issue any kind of apology. They are standing firm. They're still sharing crap about Season 4. And if you look through the comments on their tweets, basically leave the kids alone is everything you're going to see. That and, call of groomers. Now, I've been talking about this in stream since, since before Warzone 2 came out. They have been bleeding players for a long time. So it really wasn't going to take much to push them over the edge. But it's funny, you have 2 Call of Duty streamers that are literally going to take these guys down. I have a couple of my friends that have stopped playing Call of Duty and they have downloaded Battlefield. I have guys in my chat that have done the same. It is becoming a really bad situation. And it seems like a consensus in the community, like, look, you haven't listened to us in God knows how long. From what I heard today from my son, Call of Duty, had in patch notes for Season 4, like the movement, all they had was something that affected the parachute. So they still didn't, fix the movement or make the game any faster. Kind of what people have been wanting. Call of Duty has kind of been on this teetering spot now for a while where any little thing is just going to push them over the edge. And like I said, this is different than cancel culture. This is something that, I want to see the game get better. I want to see them stop pushing agendas on children. I think all of us do. I think all of us are kind of at a point now where we're just like, dude, we're tired of it. You know what I mean? Like, people are so tired of it. And that's why you see companies like Target, Bud Light, and many others losing billions of dollars. Dude, that's crazy to think they have lost $20 billion, I think Target has lost for having tuckable underwear in their freaking stores. Nobody wants to see that. Sorry, nobody wants to see it. People are tired of seeing it. And this is what happens when you shove stuff like this down people's throats. If you're going into a political conversation, right, you would expect maybe some of these things to come up. But when it invades every single part of our lives, from football to gaming to vehicles to motorcycles to the stores we shop in, you're not pushing it to be accepted. You're making people push away from it, and eventually you will start to see backlash. And so this is how you affect big corporations. People say, oh man, you don't have a vote, or your voice doesn't matter, or whatever. Well, yeah, you kind of do, because when you buy stuff and you choose to buy stuff from certain places, that's how you can vote every single day. It doesn't always have to be in November. You can literally vote every single day. And people have made that very clear when you see the uptick in Nick Mercs' subscriber count, right? And so people are standing with these guys, and that is a very good thing. The interesting part about all of this, one of the outliers, one of the games that I bought 2 years ago and literally have never played, well, like a year and a half ago, I played the beta for Battlefield 2042. I just did not like it at all, honestly. Well, Battlefield 2042 turned a corner like a month ago. So it really just started to get good. And now they are in a perfect position to finally take the COD community and bring them in. I don't think Battlefield 2042 is so different that the COD community is going to kind of push it away. I think because of the direction that COD has went with their movement in Warzone specifically, that it's going to feel very familiar to you, more familiar than, let's say, Warzone 1 did compared to Battlefield, right? The movement is slower in Call of Duty now. The movement's always been a little bit slower and more realistic in Battlefield. And so I think that transition now from Warzone 2 players to Battlefield, this is the perfect opportunity for Battlefield 2042. Keep their mouth shut about the politics because they've seen this same kind of backlash before, and just make the game fire. And that's what I've seen, dude. I've been playing this game now for a few days since I deleted Call of Duty, and I can tell you, I can see a huge part of the community. I project that a huge part of the COD community is coming to Battlefield 2042 because the transition is just going to be so easy. And I feel that when people do that, they're going to be like, holy crap, like the destruction in the game. You know, if you have campers in the game, there's so many things that you can destroy to get those campers out of their spots. And, they'll see the weather effects, the gun sounds, the guns themselves, them bringing in Battlefield 3 weapons and just kind of spicing things up, man. They're in Season 5 right now in Battlefield. They just dropped Season 5. And so this is a perfect opportunity for those guys to step in and figuratively put the boot to Call of Duty's neck. I encourage every one of my viewers here, man, to stand up for what's right, dude. I mean, you can do what you want. It's a free country, but, I refuse to stand with people that support pushing things on kids that they never asked for, dude. Not supporting kids. That's where I draw the line, dude. Grown adults, don't care what you do, but I refuse to support anything like that. That is, like I said, it's just gone too far, and Call of Duty really is in a tough spot, dude. And this is what they needed. This is what they needed. They have not listened to the community. They refuse to listen to us, and now it is time to show them, listen, you're going to listen one way or another, or your game is going to crash and burn. That just is what it is. So, man, I'm really stoked that the unintentional consequences of Nick Mercs' tweet, right? Guy's big enough to make an impact, that he stood by that, right? And then TimTheTatman came in and supported his friend by tweeting, take my operator down as well. I'm so glad they did that, man, because it would have been so easy for them to come in and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry. You see this all the time. People backtrack on what they say. They don't have the balls to stand by it. And they tried to cancel him. And when you're that big, it's hard to be canceled, man. And when you stand by the things you say, that shows more heart and more guts than ever going back and issuing some bullshit apology that you don't yourself believe in. That's where I stand on it, man. I'd love to hear your comments on the situation. Do you think this will officially kill COD? Do you want it to kill COD? Or do you kind of feel like me? I don't want them canceled. I just want them to fix the game. I want them to backtrack on all of this LBGTQ AAAR stuff and leave the kids alone. Let me know down below if you like what I do. Consider subscribing. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.